welcome to my Flosstube. My dog is making an appearance right away. This is a channel about cross-stitch. My name is Hannah. I welcome everyone who is new, who has just joined me. I don't remember what number this is. 8? I think this is 8. I could be wrong. I believe this is 8 because I know I'm doing a giveaway in 10, so I think I have like 2 more before my giveaway. And the giveaway is not going to be like what I've seen other giveaways where they send something to someone. I don't have, I think I mentioned this last time, I don't have too many actual hard copies of things to send to people. So I will be doing in episode 10, I will be doing a giveaway, a rack. So it'll be either, hey, it'll be any kind of rack that you would like, as long as it's a PDF, and we'll do an email. So, hey to Charting Creations, I know there's a bunch of them that do kind of rack kind of style things. I just, in the current climate, I never want to, send someone something that could have the virus on it. I know that's not necessarily a thing that people should be worried about, but I work in a hospital, so I'm just extra cautious. So anyway, let's get started. So again, welcome to anyone who's new. Thank you for everyone who is returning. Thank you for your comments. I haven't had any I don't think I've had too many questions, but if you do have any questions, please feel free to drop them below. If you want to just say hi, drop that below. I'd love saying hi back. I think I pretty much try to respond to everyone. If not, I do like all the comments, I believe. I hope that I'm actually being true with that. I just looked up above me. You can't see it in the video, but there's a light up there, and it looks like it's falling out of the ceiling. Well, hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's just this angle. But if for some reason, like in the middle of this video, you just see something like fall from the sky and crash, that's the light. Okay, so what have I got today? I'm going to do, I think, whips first. I have one finish. I haven't fully finished it yet still, but that will be at the end, and I will be doing kind of a warning closer to there, because my mother-in-law, if she is watching this video, she just has to stop watching it before I get to that point. So, all that being said, let's start with one that I didn't think I was going to work on and then ended up working on. So, I am talking about my Castles in the Air by Long Dog Samplers. So here is what the piece is going to look like. And here is where the piece was last time. And here is where it is this time. Woohoo! I still feel like there's like nothing. Sorry for the hoot marks, but what can you do? So I have barely anything done, but that's kind of purposeful. And I'm actually at the end of the video, I'm going to go through plans again because things have changed. What can you do when you say you're going to plan and then everything changes? So anyway, this is where I am now. I can't actually tell if it's in there we go. Now I can tell. So this is 1/2 on 32 count. Yeah, 32 count linen. It's called Autumn Splendor, and it's Fabrics by Stephanie. Yeah. And it's kind of getting washed out a little bit. There we go. That's a little bit more realistic, I guess. I mean, it's looking a little bit, in my view, it's looking a little bit like, I don't know, it's not that bright. it looks a little bit more blue on screen, like a blue-red, but it's definitely not. It's definitely a lot more like a true burgundy, like similar to my hair. I mean, my hair's not really true burgundy, but it's not as light as it looks on the camera. I guess maybe that's better. That's a little bit better. It looks a little bit more true now. But, and then the silks are Silks For You. I don't remember the number. Sorry. But it's like a cream, a crew, kind of really, really, really slight variegation. Like, you can't really even tell that there's a variegation. You can see it a little tiny bit, but it's a little bit easier to see it in person, but even still, it's really hard to tell. So, I had originally said I wasn't going to work on this at all until the new year, but I've been, and I think I said this last time, I've been starting to get back into working on the Magical Stitches homework. I know, it's like the end of the year. But I'm excited for Magical Stitches next year. So I was like, I probably should look like I care. I do care, I promise I care. But I had just burned myself out earlier in the year by joining too many challenge groups and trying to do every challenge in all the groups, and it was too much for me, so I like kind of stopped all of them. I didn't do any challenges, I just stitched for myself for most of the pandemic. And then I just started again, and I'm feeling a little bit better because I am doing no new starts, so I'm not starting like 5 billion things. Like last year I kind of started, you know, like 7 new full coverage pieces or something like that, and this year I have only started 4 or 5 new things, and all of them are going to be carried through next year because they're all really large. Well, minus the 2 I've already finished, because they were small and they were kind of last minute purchases for Christmas. And if you want to see one of the finishes, you can watch last video. The only person who can't, the only person who can't watch the whole way through is my mother-in-law. Sorry, Kathy, but, you know, that's how it goes when I want to show people what I've done, and I don't want to wait till Christmas, but you've got to wait till Christmas. So anyway, I wasn't going to work on this until the new year, but then Vicky, the headmistress in Magical Stitches, the prompt for this week was stitch on something that you are either working in silks or that you could work in silks. And I was like, oh, I could say, you know, my full coverage, because I could work my full coverage in silks, but like, who does that? Because you spend so much money on silks. Like, no. So I ended up taking this guy out because I felt like I'm actually working this in silks, so I'll just use it. So I did the 200 stitches. So now it's a little over 400 stitches on this guy, done. And I thought about going, I know, I'm spending a lot of time with this one, I don't know. I thought about going all the way across with the border, but then I was like, what if I count wrong? What if I actually count wrong and like I go too many across? I don't want to do that. So I took this one line of threads, of crosses, until the end of the thread. And I usually cut my thread to about like from my fingertips to like the middle of my arm to my elbow. My elbow pit, which is what we call it in this house. I don't know what it's called. But so I usually cut my threads about that long. And so I took the thread from wherever it was here all the way across, and then I finished it, and then I came back and I started the ones on top of it, and I finished the thread with the ones on top, and then I decided I'm going to start with the little like triangular bits right here, to work that part of the way across. I'm thinking I'm just going to stick with like mostly on page 1, so if I'll take the threads into the next page if I'm still working on a thread and it's not easy to go down to like the next section, but once I finish these, at least until, you know, most of the way across, to where like this or this is, somewhere in here, I will start maybe going down with the triangles, and then I'll work somewhere in the page 1. So that's kind of the thought, but I won't pull this out again until most likely New Year. I might work on it a little bit because I actually have had a lot of fun working on this one, because it's really nice to just work on something with one color and you literally aren't changing threads, because almost, I mean, all I'm doing for No New Starts next year is full coverage, excluding this one. And even the Mandarinx design piece that I'm doing is a full coverage piece, although there are some half crosses. It's still full coverage. So, and it's small, like it's only 4 or 6 pages or something, so it's not big, but it's a full coverage, and so it's been really nice to not have like to switch threads constantly, because of the way I work. And I promise eventually I'm gonna do a stitch with me, I promise. But I have to actually force myself to do it, and I don't know why that's difficult for me. It just is. These are easier. I don't know why. But yeah, it's been really nice not to have to switch threads constantly. You can just like go. So the 200 stitches took me like no time because I didn't have to switch threads. So I don't know. We might see this again before the new year. We might not. I haven't really decided. I have thoughts, and I'll get into those after I show the rest of my stuff. And then I only have one other whip from this week, and most of y'all will guess, if you've watched my other videos, you know what I'm working on. You know what my focus piece is for November, which is almost over, but creepy smile. But before I even do the butt, before I do butt, that's not it. That's not it, Hannah. Okay, so here is what the piece will look like when it's finished. And here is where it was last time. And here is where it is now. Looky at that! So I am almost finished this page. I'm so close to finish this page. And I plan on trying to get this page finished today. It is only 2:30 on Wednesday the 25th. And I have off the rest of the week for Thanksgiving. So tomorrow we are visiting my parents. They live about 20 minutes from us. They have been quarantining. We have been quarantining. Like I said, I work in hospitals, so I am quite safe. We wear our goggles and our or face shields and our masks whenever we're there. I do work from home most of the time. I went in yesterday, but for about an hour and a half. My parents currently, my mom is teaching from home, and my father is still furloughed, so he has not been really doing much of anything. Working around the house, but that's about it. So we are going to be going over to their house for Thanksgiving, but we will be being very safe. So it will only be about 5 people. So me, my parents, my husband, and my brother. So it's going to be a very small gathering, and in Maryland, we are allowed to have gatherings up to 10 people. So we are staying within the guidelines. That being said, tomorrow I am going over my parents, and then on Friday I plan on going to get frames for the 2 pieces that I have finished to then fully finish them. So I'm going to go to Michael's on Friday. and pick those up if I can find some. And then Saturday and Sunday, I don't really have any plans. So, well, Sunday night we do, but I should be able to get, it's like 300 stitches left. I should be able to get that done today. Because I'm not doing anything for the rest of the day. So I should get this page finished today. And then I think I'm going to keep moving up. I might move over here just to get this page going. I might just do this one, and then move up and do this one, and then go back down on this side. I don't know. I haven't quite decided. I do want to get her face done though, so I don't know. But that's where she is. You can see Mushu's whole face. Right there. I'm so happy. And her hair, it was very interesting to stitch because it's quite green. And then it like fades into this dark brown black kind of situation on the top, but I don't know, I don't hate it. I think it makes sense because it's supposed to be lighter, like wispier hairs, down at the bottom, so it's supposed to be a little bit lighter than like, you know, your full head of hair up here. So I don't know, I'm liking it. But yeah, so this one is almost on that page, and then I have a couple more days left of November, and we will just see if I decide to go over here or if I decide to go up here. I haven't decided. And I would say let's vote on it, but I might be finished the page before any kind of votes come in, so I don't know. Okay, so now we'll get to my finish. And this is my little warning, announcement. Kathy, if you're watching, my mother-in-law, if you're watching, please turn off this video for the rest of the video. I don't want you to see it. You will see it come Christmas. So, with all that being said, now that Kathy is gone, I hope, Kathy, you best be gone, if you are watching this. So many of you have probably seen this on Facebook. Well, maybe not many of you. Some of you. I know some people watch, I think, most of my videos. Angie from Angie X Stitch, I think is the name of your channel, Angie. She watches most of my videos, and I know Sarah from Our Stitching Kingdom. She's great. Love you. She watches most of my videos. I watch all of her videos. She's great. I love her. So go watch Sarah. I know she's gotten a lot of love recently, and I'm so glad she's gotten a lot of love. She really deserves it. But she has definitely seen this, and I believe Angie has seen it. But anyway, we have a finish. But before I show you the finish, I'm going to show you where I was last time. And this is where I am now. It's finished. So this is called, if I can get my fingers where I wanted them, this is called Niffler. It is a Mandarinx design piece. I wish I could like get rid of some of this extra fabric that I don't need. So yeah. This is him, her, it. It doesn't really have a gender. It probably does have a gender, but like this one, I haven't decided. I want to say the he, because I think he just looks like a he. I don't know. But the back stitch on this thing was ridiculous. This is on 28 count, yeah. I think 28 count. It was just in my stash. And I used a ruler. So, I think it's close enough to 28 count. It's a light blue really hard to tell on camera that it's light blue, but it's kind of like my wall. My wall is light blue. And I thought that he would go really well. And there is one bead. I don't know if you can tell where the bead is, but I will maybe show it to you if I can. So the bead is right here, this little white dot right there. It was supposed to be a French knot, and if you know me, you know I hate French knots, and I refuse most of the time to do them. So I didn't, and he has a bead, and I think it was who was it? Oh, I forget who it was. Somebody on Facebook. Oh my gosh. YouTube. I know I just watched her YouTube video yesterday. Hold please. Snark and Spark. On Facebook, she commented and she was like, I think the bead is very fitting for a niffler, and I said, you're so right. So I just have to laugh because I didn't even think about it that way until, she said something. And I will link all of the Flosstubers that I have mentioned. Name dropping. I feel like Jessie Marie. Name dropping. Except for that I don't name some people because I can't. I'm really bad with names and I can't always remember people's names. I just remember that I remember the picture weirdly of the person who comments or if I've known you long enough or you're in like a group and we chat consistently, I will remember, but if we don't really talk too often, I'm probably not going to remember your name. I might. I'm trying really hard, but I don't always. But I know for a fact that Jessie Marie in her videos, she's always like, I'm name dropping all over this video. And I'm like, same today. Anyway. So this is him in all of his glory. Let me just say, I just stood up really like weirdly just there. This necklace, that backstitch on this necklace was so painful. There was so much, because the whole necklace is backstitched. Because each bead is 6 stitches. And I had to like half some of them to make them look round. Oh my god, it was painful. And on the listing on Etsy for this pattern, somebody, or maybe it was 2 people, when they did this, they actually put pearls. I don't know if they were real, but they put maybe some fake pearls on, like they stitched it on for the necklace rather than stitching the beads of the necklace. And I was like, that's such a good idea. But I don't have just like random pearls laying around. So I ended up not doing that. And I just stitched the beads. But I think it looks great and I'm super excited. And I think that my mother-in-law will really, really like it. She's obsessed with nifflers, like obsessed. So I'm excited to give this to her. So like I was saying, I never finished. This is 28 count, like a light blue, and I did do this 2/2, and I think the coverage is great. It's good for me. I'm good with it. I don't have super tight tension, so I think that the coverage looks great. You can't see the fabric through the black stitch or the really dark stitches, so I mean you can kind of see it when you get really close, but nobody's going to look at it. Nobody's going to look at it super close. So you're going to look at it from about where you are. So, well, about where the camera is, and not even. I mean, you probably look at it closer to like this far away if you were actually here. So you can't see the fabric through it from that distance. So that is everything I have to show you. Hopefully when I come back next week, I will have 2 fully finished pieces. This one and the one I did last time will hopefully be fully finished. So the other thing I wanted to chat about, that's all I have to show you, but the other thing I wanted to chat about was plans, because I know in my first video we talked about no new starts plans. Well, that kind of still applies. I'm still planning on doing no new starts, but I think I'm changing things a little bit because I would like to take part in Magical Stitches next year. And I think that's probably the only group that I'm really going to do the challenges for. I'm also going to do the 2-week Tuesdays in Cross Stitch Frogbusters because I created the event and I want to take part in the event that I created. I didn't create the concept of 2-week Tuesdays, but I did create the new event that we are doing every 2-week Tuesday. So that all being said, I will be doing most likely the only like team challenge thing that I will be participating in next year is Magical Stitches. And on my, I think I said this last time, but on my thing that I filled out to say like I wanted to do the challenges next year, I said like I would in January decide whether I wanted to be in a team or not, and I'm like, am I kidding? I'm going to be in a team. So I'm probably most likely going to either message Vicky or comment on that post and just say, hey, I know I did this, but we all know I'm going to join a team, so just put me on a team. We'll see. But with all of that being said, I kind of have a new concept on how I want to play out next year, depending on what the challenges for Magical Stitches look like, because I'm not sure. I mean, usually there's like weekly homeworks and things like that, but there's also like we had to declare a full coverage piece, which I declared my wedding piece as my like full coverage focus piece. But like I said, all of my other pieces are full coverage, and I want to also focus on some of them, like I do one a month that is a focus piece for that month. So here's what my thoughts are. Okay, let's go into my thoughts. So what I believe I'm going to do is every month I'm going to spin the wheel. I know I had originally spun the wheel and already written down what pieces I was going to work on for what month next year, but I think I'm going to spin the wheel the day before the new month starts, so the last day of the month, I'm going to spin the wheel for the next month, and that will decide what my like focus piece for the month is. And so I will focus on that piece for, if I can, for like homeworks, and I will use it for the 2-week Tuesdays and Frogbusters. And so that'll be the piece that I try to use for most of the things. And then my focus full coverage piece, my wedding piece, depending on, we don't know how that's going to be used yet. There might be like, you have to do so many stitches a week or so many stitches a month on it, I'm not sure. But depending on how that plays out, I will use that for that specific goal. So whatever the full coverage goal is for Magical Stitches on our focus piece, I will do that. And then the long dog is the only one I'm not going to put into my like wheel to spin for, because the idea is that I will work on my long dog sampler. I will work on that for work. So like when I'm in the office or if I'm working from home on my lunch break, I will work on that and do that either every day or every couple days, whenever I have time at lunch to be able to work on it, I will work on it. So that is going to be more like my travel piece. And the only thing that will throw that off is we have in Magical Stitches, you have a like whip list and a whip album. So I have numbered them. So I know sometimes in the past they have said like, you know, for some homeworks you have to work on whip number 3 and 7 in your whip list. And so for those kind of things, I would work on those specific pieces. But this is kind of how I'm imagining the year to go. We'll see if that actually happens. But this is kind of the new reimagined thing that I'm going with. So I will still be this coming month, I'm still planning on working on my Disney piece, because I've already put the pictures of all the other pieces and their current progress in the albums, in the No New Starts album and in the Magical Stitches album, and I don't feel like deleting and doing all the things, because I already did that with Castles in the Air, and I don't want to do that again. I haven't re-put new pictures of castles, I don't think, in the albums yet, so I've got to do that, but, well, I have to do that if I decide I'm not going to work on it again yet, until the new year. We'll see. But all that being said, I do plan on working next month, so next week, next week you'll be seeing literally no progress, probably. I won't really have too much progress on my Disney piece, because it'll only have been out for one day, because Tuesday is Tuesday the 1st? Yeah, Tuesday is the 1st, because it's Giving Tuesday on Tuesday. So, yeah, I don't know. You'll see Mulan again, and you will hopefully be seeing a page finish. But I think that's everything. Somehow I rambled on for 30 whole minutes, and I only had 3 things to share. I don't think I have bought anything. Who knows? I don't remember buying anything recently, so I don't think I'm gonna continue for too much longer. I think that's all my plans. That's the new reimagined plan for next year. We'll see how that goes. We can plan all day long, and then the challenges could look so totally different from everything I just said. So we'll see. I don't have any smalls. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to say. In Magical Stitches, you can tell how big your piece is based on the length and the width of the project. And I was going through a couple days ago. And I for sure thought pretty much if not all of my pieces were large. I call them never ending. I think there should be a couple of other ways to talk about your patterns. There's small, medium, and large. That's what they have. And I was like, well, what about ginormous and never ending? I feel like those apply for a lot of people. But I only have one medium project, and the rest of them are large. So I have, I think, 12 pieces that I'm working on next year, and only one of them is medium. And all of the other ones are large. Great. I'm never finishing anything. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I have to talk about today. So I'm glad that you were able to be here with me. You were able to see what I was working on. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for returning. Thank you for everything. And I also hope that everybody has a really great Thanksgiving tomorrow. If you're in the United States. And even if you're not in the United States and you celebrate Thanksgiving, have at it. I know my grandparents, when they were alive, we'd always go over around this time of the year. And one year we went over and it became a tradition that we had Thanksgiving in Scotland. So we were the only family in the whole, on the whole block that were having a Thanksgiving feast in Scotland. But it was fun because, we're from America, but my mom is from Scotland and my grandparents lived over there. So we would celebrate Thanksgiving even when we were over there. And it was fun. And it was a little bit different because we would eat some different things. We didn't necessarily do turkey, but we tried to do at least turkey or ham every year. And then we'd add in shepherd's pie and bangers and mash, but it's all fun. And bangers and mash, for anybody who might not know, that is sausages and mashed potatoes. But I'm not a big sausage person, so I would usually skip that thing. I think that's it. I believe I've talked about everything. So I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. I hope everybody who is not celebrating Thanksgiving has a great rest of their week. And I will see you all in my next video. Have a good one.